Hi, I'm Dave Lopez, founder and managing member of ILG Financial.
And I'm Chase Lopez, advisor at ILG Financial, and this is another episode of Retire Your Way with ILG Financial, where we talk all things retirement planning.
Next one is Social Security won't be enough to cover my retirement needs.
Yeah, so this is, again, going on theme today. This is a common complaint that we get from folks. And the first thing that we all have to acknowledge, just I guess as a society in general, is Social Security was never designed to be any one person's one source of
Sole
income.
retirement income,
It wasn't
pension for retirement.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't meant to be your only source of income in retirement. It was always designed to augment other forms of income in retirement. So a pension, to your point, Dave, or if we're pulling money out of investments, right? That's supposed to augment what we're getting from Social Security. So you have to get with your financial professional. If you're only relying on Social Security for income in retirement, you definitely want to see if you can make some adjustments to your plan.
Good point.
So that's really the biggest takeaway I would say with that is you want to make sure you're augmenting that Social Security with either investment income, pensions, or whatever the case may be. And it kind of goes back to your original point, Dave, when we were talking about risk.
Mm-hmm.
If some of these investment accounts are going to be needed for income, well, you want to make sure that those investment accounts are designed so that you can receive that income to augment that Social Security.
Yep, absolutely. Different investment strategy if you're using the money from income as
That's right.
opposed to growing it for 10 years and not touching it.
That's exactly right. All right, so let's move on to the next one, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Another common complaint that we've heard from folks that are using other financial advisors is my account didn't grow much last year. How would you address that?
Yeah, so I think my answer there would be your advisor's done a poor job of explaining to you how the market works, right? Or they don't even quite understand it. And usually, unfortunately, I think it's the other.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about this with clients, overwhelmingly I hear, no one's ever told me this before. And let me explain it this way. The markets go up or down. Everyone really agrees when we talk about it, maybe you listening at home, that we can't predict the market short term. I have no idea next year whether the market's going up or down. We can make predictions, and what our industry is wonderful at, and we're good at too, is after something's happened, we can walk you through what's going on in the world and the economy that caused it.
Right.
But telling you what's going to happen in the next 12 months or even 36 months, nobody knows. Warren Buffett says if you're not willing to be in the stock market for 10 years minimum, you have no business being in the market for 10 minutes. And what he's saying is he can't predict the market short term.
Right.
And he sees short term, goodness gracious, as 10 years.
Right.
So my account didn't do well last year. I want to get back to that question, circle back. Really, the response would be, and we really spend a lot of time with our clients on this. Our job is not to predict next year's performance in the market. Our job is design a strategy that fits your needs, right? Based on risk tolerance, income needs, and a couple other variables that we do when we build the plan. And what we want to do is always evaluate how that strategy is performing based on the economic conditions. Is it performing how it was designed to present? So one of the jokes some of our clients have, and they enjoy it, is we may have a year where the market goes through the roof and they come back and they go, Chase, you're a genius, right? And we would respond and we say, well, look, we appreciate your saying that, but interestingly, your portfolio performed exactly how we had hoped it would in these economic conditions.
Right.
Similarly, we may have a year where last year, the market, 2022, the market didn't do good and most accounts were down if they were in the market, right? And we said, hey, I'm down. What gives? You're my advisor. Shouldn't we have made money? No, interestingly, we had decided on this strategy and we discussed in down markets, the market goes down and so would an account in the market. Right? So interestingly, your account performed how it was designed to perform.
That's exactly right.
What we do as your advisors and what your advisor should be doing is continually evaluating the performance of the strategy compared to the economic events. If you were expecting your account to go down 20% when the market went down 30, did it go down 20 or did it go down 50?
Right.
That would require a change or an adjustment if it wasn't performing.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point that you kind of said at the end there, Dave, which is if you have that question, right? My account didn't grow as much last year. well, then you should go to your financial professional and have a discussion as to why that was, right? To your point, is this how it was designed to perform in this type of market environment, right?
Yeah, make sure you're on the same page of what the goal of that bucket was. If you
Right.
needed the money next year,
Right.
it might be in safety, and it probably should be because we can't predict the market over
Right.
12 months. So the trade-off to having the safety so that you can use the money is that you're not going to get a lot of growth.
That's right.
Let's jump into the next one. This
Yep.
one's for you.
Alrighty.
I don't understand my financial plan.
Oh man.
How do you?
And this might be one of the questions or complaints we get most often when we're talking to folks that have other advisors. And here's the reality. The job of your advisor, of your financial advisor, is to make sure that you understand your financial plan. Their job is to not spit out a bunch of jargon that you may or may not know what it means, or you can't really quantify exactly what they're talking about. Our job as your advisor is to do all of the research and do all of the strategizing, and then come to you and be able to articulate it in plain English. I think there's a saying that goes something like, if you can't explain it to a first grader, then you don't really understand it, right?
That's so true.
So really the goal for you, whenever you're picking a financial advisor or you're talking to your financial professional, is to say, okay, after speaking with them, after building out my financial plan, can I, as the client, explain my plan in 5 minutes to my neighbor, as an example.
Yeah,
right?
now that doesn't mean you'll remember every piece of the plan.
100%.
But you should be on the same page. And what we see the difference is your advisor should be in the role of educating you while they're building the plan,
right,
and guiding, not trust me, use this.
That's right.
Right. They're making connections between your goals and your risks, and tools that will accomplish those goals based on that risk, and then making sure they can explain it in a way that makes sense to you. And if they can't, you need to find another advisor who can.
That's right. That's right. And I think it goes back to one of the initial questions that we had, where they said, hey, my advisor is taking too much risk with my account. Well, then obviously your advisor didn't do a good job of explaining your financial plan and how it operates with respect to risk and all of those different things that you kind of alluded to there, Dave.
We got time for one more?
One more. We got one more for you. This one's for you, Dave. And this says, I only hear from my advisor when he or she wants to buy or sell a stock. I never get any advice on anything else.
Yeah, that's a great one, right? And the answer might be you don't have an accurate understanding of what your advisor does.
Right.
Right. There's all kinds of different advisors. So we're a fiduciary advisor, right? And as a retirement firm, we focus on all things retirement. So we're looking at all kinds of moving parts.
Right.
A stockbroker is really just giving advice to buy or sell a stock usually, right? So if you've got a broker like that, they're really talking about a small piece of your retirement. And they'll talk about that piece, and if they don't need to talk about it, you may have someone who uses the term advisor, and they're just an insurance agent. They've sold you a life insurance policy.
Right.
There's not much to discuss after that. But since you heard the word advisor, you're kind of thinking it blanket covers everything.
Right.
So again, get with your advisor, be very clear of what they believe their duty to you is and what they'll be doing, and make sure you're on the same page.
That's right.
Right. You may be paying a very small or no fee because they're doing very little.
Right.
Right. And on your end, you want to be very clear of when you would be expecting to hear from them. So there isn't a connect. There are times, some of our clients, where we might meet with once a year because the plan's in place.
Right.
There's not a lot of changes. We're monitoring behind the scenes and getting with them if there's changes recommended on our ends because of economic changes. And we're counting on the client to get with us if there's changes on their end, weddings, deaths, divorce, change in risk tolerance, right? Retirement. So there'll be years where we might meet with a client 5 or 6 times in a transition year, we like to call them. There'll be years where we'll meet once or twice. Right. So get with your advisor and just be clear of what the arrangement is and what to expect.
Yeah, no, and I think we shed some light on some common complaints here today that a lot of folks have with their financial advisor. Get with your financial advisor if any of these things are of concern for you, and they should be able to, articulate an answer for all of these different things. Thanks again for joining us today, and we'll see you on our next episode.
See you next time.